I think there's like a subsection of comedians who get like YouTube videos and post YouTube videos of them dealing with hecklers.
Like what?
That one dude who
the red-haired guy.
He's like Ginger Kills Heckler or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was fucking ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous shit. Why would you give that person, that stupid fucking idiot, a platform to fucking say, oh, I should do this more at stand-up shows?
That's
and then
true.
other people watch that video and they're like, oh man, I know what I'm going to do.
Because it's going viral.
Yeah, it's going to be a viral video.
Yeah, so it's kind of like sacrificing the art form for your own personal gain.
I would say it's more like fucking publishing the names of the fucking shooters, but I mean, we won't fucking delve into that controversy again.
Oh yeah, I can't believe, that's interesting to think we actually covered that. Yeah, I don't know. It's... Wait, were we talking about the Parkland shootings, or were we talking about in the past episodes?
No, I was talking about the controversy that we were talking about with Louis in the joke.
Yeah.
That he made about the Parkland shit. And, which, by the way, did we publish that guy? Not we. Not me and you. But, did the news publish that guy's name? The guy who shot the kids?
I don't know. Honestly, it's not even necessarily the name. It's just the publicity in general. Even if you're not given their name. Even if the news is not given their names, it's still, like, they're all over the news.
Yeah. Oh, and here's exactly what they did and what they used to do it. And
yeah, all the details. All the gritty details. Like, we went into his house. Just in case you want to
imagine it and jerk off later, here's exactly how it went down.
Or if you're like the girls with... What was the guy? The bomber, the Boston Marathon
bomber?
Like, wasn't he on the cover of Time magazine or something?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. No, the Rolling Stone maybe. I don't know.
I don't know who he is. I don't know enough about that. I just know he blew shit up.
What it was about like the craze of like the girls who were obsessed with him and were like attracted to him.
I think I remember what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't feel confident enough delving into my memory on that one because it was...
That's been a common thing anyway. Like, not just specifically with him, but I'm sure you've heard of, like, people sending, Charles Manson stuff and...
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And probably Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy's a great example. He was loved. He got love letters. Everybody, yeah.
He was attractive enough to fucking send mail to.
Even though he's a monster.
Yeah. Oh, well, people love psychopaths. Wow. Other psychopaths love psychopaths.
Now, explain that evolution.
Explain that. It's beneficial to be able to just murder people.
Checkmate, atheists.
Whenever you don't have police or surveillance or government, it's beneficial to be able to murder people and not feel a goddamn thing about it.
Woo! Yeah.
That's how chimps do it. All fucking chimps are psychopaths. Every single goddamn one of them.
Oh my God,
and you know what happened? Bonobos beat the shit out of the psychopaths until they were all bonobos and they were competent, fucking, sweet, loving animals with each other.
Oh my God. Do you remember that night that we were talking about psychopaths and how, like, narcissistic and, like, sociopath type traits, even psychopath, are the people who are most likely to succeed?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it's like right up to the fucking top.
Yeah, I remember when we were talking about that. Like, I just got chills all at once because it just made me realize that, like, what it takes to get to the top of the food chain is not being a good person.
No, it's being a terrible person.
Exactly.
And then being a terrible person, when you get to the top and there are other terrible people that work with you on stuff.
Yeah.
Why do we like laugh off the idea of a conspiracy? Is it weird to think that multiple people can get into a room together and talk about something?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Think about North Korea, man. How under control they are. America
America is not North Korea.
No, I'm not saying it's North Korea.
No, I have to say that for stupid people.
Yeah, no. Yes, thank you. Yeah, man, we're not North Korea, but however, if America wanted to control us a little bit, and I'm sure they are, the people who get together and push an agenda, the people who have the most power in moving agendas are the people who have the money, you know, and it's going to be them who are making decisions. So inherently, they're going to benefit themselves.
Well, yeah, you know, when has the Senate ever, passed legislation to cut their fucking salaries?
Yeah, exactly.
They give themselves raises all the time.
Yeah,
when the country's doing good, when the country's doing bad, they give themselves a little raise.
Yeah, Amazon, man. Mm-hmm. Think about Amazon or Walmart. You know, paying their workers.
How many people work for that dude, and how much money does he siphon out of their fucking souls?
Yeah, and he takes a good chunk of it, like a fucking huge chunk of that check.
If you compare him to any individual worker, he takes all of it.
Yeah.
You compare him to any individual worker, he takes all of it.
I understand.
You have to be able to compare your salaries to your employees' salaries and not be able to not sleep at night.
And you know what? It just makes you bigger, you know?
Yeah, and when you do that, when you take everything and leave the scraps to your employees,
yeah,
you're able to get a lot more money that way.
Exactly. And especially
power.
In a country in poverty. Hey man, let's move in Walmart. We're gonna destroy all of these small homey businesses with Walmart. You know, no more mom and pop shops, motherfuckers, because Walmart's got everything. Come to us.
You know who doesn't see that issue?
What? Who?
People in like L.A. and New York.
Yeah, you're right.
People who are in the cities.
Yeah, definitely. Like Walmart is if we don't have local business, you know, where's the money being distributed? Because, you know, opening up your own business and paying employees fair wages, even if you're paying minimum wage, at least a good percentage of that money is going back into your community and your pocket. It's not like Walmart, who most of that money's going up to the top, and all you have in your town now are jobs that pay minimum wage.
Well,
you know,
you think though too about the fact that like when you get into these cities, there's so many people and there's so much jobs and there's so much money going around, right? You don't have to be unemployed in the city for very long.
No.
There's zero unless you're unable to work. Unless you have some reason why you're not able to work, then there's no reason why you should be unemployed in the city.
There are a lot of jobs available for you, especially in Los Angeles. You could make anything a talent. You could sell any talent that you have. You can't sell talent around here.
And you can get more than minimum wage in most of those jobs. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, they're talking about making the minimum wage a living wage, right?
Yeah.
And they're saying, $13.50 is what we want to make it, $13.50, and they're saying that because they live in a city, and they're like, everything costs more here, you know. So that's how much we need to live like people are living on $7.50 an hour over here.
Yeah, exactly. Okay? Because basically, the things are going to be way, way higher in Los Angeles. So
jobs are lower paying around here too.
Yeah, exactly.
And $13.50 an hour minimum wage.
Low prices though for property compared to LA though. You know what I'm saying?
The prices are nationally based. You know, they're basically all these corporations are pricing everything down so that people in the South can kind of afford to squeak by and support them.
Yeah, yeah.
And and in Midwest too, and in all these different little small towns and rural areas. And these big businesses in these cities don't impact as much because you have enough diversity in the market to where you can support your local businesses. You could go entirely to local businesses and get all of your needs met.
You could. What did we do all of the years before all of these corporations came into town? A lot more businesses.
You had a lot more businesses. You had a lot of general stores. You had a lot of places where you could buy all kinds of different. You might have shopped around. You were looking for deals at different places, but you were fucking supporting a lot of people that you lived with.
It's kind of like, you know, you're not in a community that is as high as a city who, you know, has those. Okay, actually. Population.
Mm-hmm. Did you lose it?
Yeah, I lost it, dude.
Well, dude, I understand where you were going kind of with that.
Yeah.
With population. because population is a big factor in that. I mean, the amount of people around here are not enough to support all these small businesses. When you put these big corporations in down here that have these nationally set prices, you don't go to Walmart in Michigan and it's different from Walmart in Kentucky.
Yeah,
they might have a different special on or something, but the prices are generally going to be the same. And state and local taxes depend on that a little bit, but
yeah,
mostly what's driving the market in these cities is competition, and what's driving the market over here is bargains. And you have to go down to the bottom of the barrel. You have to get these small businesses, these service stations are never going to be able to really run at maximum capacity like they used to.
Perfect way to put it. And even though coal in this area pumped a lot of money into our local economy because that's a good paying job and and it takes a lot of people to do it. It's hard work. That's fucking one thing I will never ever disparage around here. I make fun of, this area. I make fun of, what we would call rednecks. Or, honestly though,
well, if you can't make fun of where you're from, then you shouldn't, ever let anybody else make fun of where you're from.
Yeah.
And when you're from the South, you have to have a sense of humor because everybody shits on the South all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like I respect coal miners, man. I respect the work that they do.
I don't respect coal tycoons. I mean, not tyrants.
Yes, the common people.
Yeah, I love people who work. I don't have any problem with people who work, no matter what they're doing to work. Because those jobs got killed by the market anyway. It wasn't like we environmentally, pushed it out with legislation. Obama did some to kind of cripple the industry a little bit.
But where was the money? Where was the money going though? Also, the biggest chunk of it. The corporations always take the biggest chunk, and that's not.
Well, and you got to think about the physical conditions of the workers too. Like you don't come out of the coal mines without bad lungs.
Yeah. What are they doing to stop that?
You might have better lungs than the other guy who came out of the mine and he got cancer and died, but you've got bad lungs too.
From the top, who's the person in charge that would let that happen? At such a high rate. Mm-hmm. That's actually insane that that's even legal. Honestly, because that you're putting yourself at risk. I guess there are a lot of jobs where that you're putting yourself at risk though. Firefighters, policemen, any of those type of military. And
none of those get paid enough either.
No, definitely not. The people who are like the EMTs,
I worked
like
at
ambulance.
a call center, and I made more than my buddy who was a Marine.
That's so insane, man. That's it. How? What do you think? Do you think that should be legal? I mean, obvious.
No, absolutely
what about
not.
Policemen?
Especially not with the fucking military budget that we have. Especially not with the fucking military.
Well, you're saying about the pay. Yeah. You shouldn't be able to pay them that low. It should be a higher price. Teachers.
Oh, do you think that people should risk themselves? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
There's no way we can get around that. Some people have to risk their lives.
Yeah.
But you don't have to risk your lives to mine coal, especially when you're not getting paid enough. Especially like
coal miners got paid pretty good.
Firefighters, police officers, the military. That's essential. We need that. That is 100% essential. Yeah. You can't get rid of it. You have to have defenses. You have to have people running places. You have to have people working to save places. EMTs and hospital workers should also be considered essential employees of the government and should get a fair wage for that too. And, it's just, when you think about how little we value the most essential parts of our society, it's kind of counterintuitive, but that's kind of how the market value works.
What are some examples of cultures or places that do value that?
Well, see, most places are driven by some kind of a market, and we have to base our economy on resources eventually, or we're never going to be able to provide for everybody because it gets more and more strenuous to make things and for people and easier for robots and technology to do it. Okay, so then you wind up with a bunch of people unemployed who lose basic jobs like shipping jobs, jobs to manufacture, jobs for probably call center jobs are going to be lost. And whenever you lose all of that unskilled work, then there's nothing really for those people to go into.
Yeah.
Because they're not trained to do anything else, and we put such an emphasis on training and education, and we don't provide that for free. That's why most people get the jobs that they get. If education was free, more people would go into different fields, but it's not. And
So man, I don't know. But it's so hard for me to think of a life without capitalism. Like I feel like the only thing that keeps me with it is the advancement. I do feel like it breeds competition, and it makes, people create better things to better people's lives at a faster rate. I think that's a good system. I think that's good.
I feel like it stopped becoming about that, though, a little while ago.
How do you think it's possible to have that system and for it to work out, though?
Capitalism?
Do you think it's inherently capitalism that's causing these issues?
Capitalism needs constant adjustment
in
order to work, and I think that the market is outdated. I think that the way that we've designed our economy in this country over the past 50 years is based in the early 19th century version of what an economy should be, and it's the 21st century, and we need to modernize.
Well, I do think that way, even with the whole political system. I know we have good checks and balances, obviously, but why not upgrade the system? It's a system that's so long ago to have been changed. It hasn't been changed in a long time.
Yeah. And when was the last time we raised the minimum wage? In the 90s?
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about. A lot of shit has changed since the 90s.
Including the cost of living.
Yeah. 9/11 happened after the 90s.
Bush had the highest approval rating of all time because of 9/11.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right after 9/11, Bush's approval rating was at 95%.
Yeah.
95% of people were like, wow. George Bush, we trust you. We respect you, George Bush.
Do you think it's trust or respect, or do you think it's just hope? Do you think it's people
I think it was people saying that they approved of him because he was the president and not because they actually approved of him. And it was a time when people were trying to stand together.
What else would America do? What else would America do than just be happy and fucking have the bullshit waft in front of them,
Well, it wasn't really about being happy. It was about being united. They got pissed off at the Dixie Chicks too. Remember when the Dixie Chicks, they went to France and they were like,
dumb.
George Bush is a dumbass.
Yeah.
Well, it's dumb, but it's not dumb when you think about what happened and how it united people. For the first time, for a little while in the early 2000s after 9/11, aside from certain groups of people who, Muslims and people that look like Muslims, aside from those people who got shit into the stick on this, America was a lot more bonded after 9/11. Black people got along with white people because we were all just Americans.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody was real patriotic.
I'm saying that has a huge effect on how you'd feel about your president.
Well, it's almost like patriotism and being proud of your country and being proud of your government go right hand in hand with this fascistic kind of a push against
exactly
something else.
I've never really been able to describe myself as a patriotic person because I'm not just going to subscribe to that just because I'm here, just that doesn't mean anything to me. I'm proud to be in a country that has so many opportunities. America's awesome. It really is. At the end of the day, it's fucking awesome. But I don't know, man.
I've got that Steve Rogers patriotism. Fucking Captain America.
What is his patriotism?
He's in love with it, but it's flawed, and he's got to try and fix it.
Yeah, that's right. That's what you know.
But it's also the greatest.
Yeah,
the best. You're completely smitten with it. I'm in love with my country. I sympathized. I was like, I understand what Donald Trump meant. He shouldn't have said that. Because he's fucking crazy and he's a lunatic and he probably is a dog whistling white supremacist. Who the fuck knows? I don't pay attention to people when they say there's dog whistles because I don't know what the fuck that means. But whenever he said he was a nationalist, everybody tried to say he was a white nationalist.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's not what he... Like, come on.
He said he was a nationalist, though, and I've said I was a nationalist before, and I definitely didn't mean white nationalist. I meant patriot.
Yeah, well, they twist shit. You know, it's all about... It's not about actually having the facts to back up what you're saying. It's just about the slander. You know, it's about everything they do is wrong. They can't do anything right.
He leaves it out there for him, though.
He does. He does leave it out there for him.
He's gaslighting the fuck
vroom,
out
vroom, motherfucker.
He's just he's telling him, listen, guys, I'm going to fuck with your head right now, and then I'm going to act like you're crazy.
We think about that thing that's totally irrelevant now, but I'm going to talk about it anyway.
Yeah.
That video of Donald Trump at the UN meeting, and everybody laughs at him. What do you think about it? I want to hear your thoughts about that.
I think that's the saddest that's almost as sad as the please clap with Jeb Bush. I mean, please clap.
Please clap.
That's almost as sad as that.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty sad.
He also made another really sad video. I think
I kind of enjoy it, though. I enjoy it because I feel like...
and he couldn't get it into the plane, and he dropped it and walked off. I felt he looked so defeated.
God, he needs to feel defeated. Just the way his hand
put it down.
He needs to feel humbled every now and then. Jesus Christ, that's the way I feel. It's hard for me to feel sorry for him.
You know what it is? He feels like everything's against him all the time.
Yeah, he feels like he's inadequate.
Like he's an underdog.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Donald Trump thinks he's an underdog.
That's a lot. You know, that kind of... You shouldn't say things like that because that kind of makes him empathetic for me.
He's super empathetic. If he was a character in a book... If he was a character...
You know what? How fucked up is it that I just said I didn't want to be empathetic with him? I should want to be empathetic with him.
Well, you should be empathetic with him, but you should also understand that where he's trying to take shit and the person that he is not the best kind of person or the best direction to take. Somebody can be wrong and also be sympathetic.
Yeah.
People are in love with fucking Thanos, and he snapped. Spider-Man was crying. I'm not going to say anymore.
You know what, dude?
I'm not going to say anymore. I know it's been 2 years, however long.
Okay, so when was Thanos introduced?
Like 2010, 2012.
In a movie?
2012.
Because, okay.
In a movie, yeah.
I'm so sorry to even discuss this to anybody listening out there, because I don't know what I'm saying might be a spoiler. Because I'm not like a Marvel movie guy. Mm-hmm. I'm not even a superhero movie guy, really. I fell asleep during The Dark Knight in theaters. So like, I mean, and I know that's a good movie.
That's my favorite fucking movie, second favorite movie of all fucking time. You can figure out which one the first one is.
But the thing about it is the superhero movies. Okay, the Marvel movies, Thanos. Mm-hmm. I like what I've heard of Thanos' character. Like, isn't it that like he's basically he wants to save the world in a way? Like but he's trying to.
Depends on what you mean by save the world. Well, it's about perspective. That's why Thanos is so like fucking popular, is because it's all about shifting perspectives and character development. It's a very character-driven movie series. The Marvel movies are actually really good after
I've heard. But what I heard, the thing I heard about Thanos summarized as like his character to me is basically he wants to make the world a better place, but it comes at the cost of, like, killing the people who are dragging things down.
Yeah, no, in Infinity War, no, not the people who are dragging things down. That's the thing. If he was killing all the drains on society, then it would make people who were actually, like, you know, bad people feel bad about being bad people that he wants to kill. And so he wouldn't be as sympathetic. But here's what he does. Okay, and it's different. And I'm not gonna spoil how the movie ends or anything. I'm just gonna tell you his plan. Okay. I'm just gonna tell you the fucking, even though you probably know based on what I said earlier. I am gonna tell you what he's doing it for in the comic is different from what he's doing it for in the movie. In the comic book, he's in love. Death is a woman. In Marvel. And in
that sounds like a good song title.
It is.
Death is a woman.
It is a good song title. That is we need to get that shit down before we publish this so that people don't steal that.
Yeah, definitely.
But Death is a woman and he's in love with her. And so he keeps trying to impress her with this Infinity Gauntlet. And then eventually he's like, okay, I'll kill half of everybody.
Oh, that's not as cool to me.
insane at the time, though, because that just happened, and people didn't
like
understand.
why. Okay, you have to. I mean, you have to a little bit explain to me what. All right, I'm gonna kill everybody. How did he get to that? Was it just like literally?
He's trying to impress death, so he was like, "I'll kill half the universe."
Oh shit! Oh my god, that's
to impress you, so that I can be your. And he tries
that's
to.
Just
he
like
brings
radically...
the corpse back from the dead, and it like disgusts her. So he's like, "Fuck, I gotta make up for this. Oh, I'll kill half of everyone. I'll kill. You like death better? I'll kill half of everyone."
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But you were gonna say something.
I was gonna.
Oh, it's nowhere near as interesting until you did say it.
Yeah.
But
well. That's I don't know. It's just like radically.
In the movie, though, he wants to balance the universe by randomly killing half of all life. That's what he wants to do.
It's almost like, is it like overpopulation control?
Yeah, he's saying the universe has a finite number of resources, and things grow, and then they need to be culled, and I want to cull it.
That's why Thanos sounds fucking awesome to me, man.
Yeah, well, it's a very good philosophy. It's a very good villain for somebody who's a nihilist to enjoy.
Yeah, well, no, dude, it's not even really that. I love a villain who has a purpose outside of just being evil. Ooh, I'm bad. I'm the bad guy, and I do bad things. Like, I like to think that a villain thinks they're doing a good thing, because that's like the Hitler mentality. That's the, don't you think, the Nazi Germany mentality?
I mean,
don't you think that they
it's better, though. It's better for a villain to think that they're, what you're saying, though, because most villains do think they're doing a good thing. It just happens to be that the thing that they think is good is evil, like blatantly evil.
Yeah.
But it's better for a villain to have a well thought out, reasonable thing that they want to do, that because of a particular moral position, there's no real reasonable reason to genocide the Jews. Yeah. So there's no Hitler.
Well, but do you remember what
Hitler thought he was doing good, but it was an objectively bad thing. Now, Stalin, who thought maybe that he was trying to prop up the poor and the proletariat and put everybody on a level playing field, you could make an argument that he was kind of like Thanos. He killed more people than Hitler, but
I would still say that it's based on morality, though. Nazi Germany, I think.
Well, it's based on a morality that's wrong, though, and something that you have a hard time arguing to a reasonable person. You wouldn't have a hard time arguing to a reasonable person. They wouldn't necessarily agree with you because, again, there's a moral issue there. But you wouldn't have a hard time arguing to somebody that was like the entire reason.
But during that time period, if you were in Germany.
Yeah, well, I can see that because of eugenics. I can see that because of racial science and naturalism that was around at that time. Yeah.
The thing that I thought about was the Jordan Peterson thing, where he was talking about how it's almost like.
But he didn't mean Jews. He didn't mean, say, you could sit down and torture. He meant there's a group of people that you don't like.
Yeah.
And you could see yourself doing that to them. But he didn't mean put yourself in a position where you can imagine yourself torturing Jews.
No. What I'm talking about is he says something about how eventually what happens, and it may not even be Jordan Peterson, honestly, but what happens when somebody does that, like in Nazi Germany, what would happen with the people, the way that they felt about Jews, and the way that they were, they almost wrote them off. They were disgusted by them. They were like vermin. They disassociated with them. They didn't see them as human. They saw them as something lower than them.
Right.
You can't blame them for feeling like they were in the right. I mean, well...
I disagree, though, because, again, it comes back to reason. I think that you could say reasonably that they are definitely people, and that there's no reason to feel like they're vermin.
But in the context of the situation that they're in...
Right. Well, like I said, I can see how you could derive those ideas from popular scientific notions at the time. But Hitler, as time goes on, becomes less of a good villain because he's He's just not relatable.
He is, yeah, and he's a bad guy.
And he's
just a bad guy, isn't he?
He is a bad guy.
Yeah. You know what? You've proved your point.
He's not relatable, and he's got an evil fucking goal. He's got an evil motive, objectively. Whereas Thanos' goal is not necessarily objectively evil.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Especially since it's random. He said randomly. Randomly half of all life.
So it's kind of fair even. He's even like giving him a little bit like
100% fair. It's like
does
the
he
argument
include himself in that?
Well, no, because he does it. So he would.
He's basically like, is he like a god or you know?
He wants to be a god. Yeah. He wants to be like a god of destruction.
Because I remember the guy that was telling me about the Marvel movies, trying to convert me, man. And I may be converted eventually because they're sounding pretty good to me, honestly.
They're very good.
And I'm hoping the hype is real, so I might start watching all of the Marvel movies. But the guy, what else he was telling me was there was another character that was like so large that it's like he kind of, I don't know, like his fingers are like the earth, but like he can just flick his finger basically. And is that Thanos?
No.
Oh, who is that?
No, it's Galactus. He eats planets.
Yes, he eats planets. That's amazing, man. That's really cool. I don't know. It's just really imaginative, you know.
It's super awesome. The Marvel universe itself, like the comic books, is one of the most well developed and interesting fictional universes ever. Because when DC had their superheroes, right, what they did is they were like, oh, these larger-than-life people have these incredible powers, and we'll show them in these hard-to-overcome circumstances overcoming it, and it'll inspire people to, you know, to be better and to feel better and to do better. And what Marvel said was, but people aren't like that. They have personalities.
Yeah.
And so they wrote a bunch of characters and put them in superhero outfits and made them do superhero shit and created expanded universes that are infinitely more interesting than DC's early stuff.
Yeah. And that makes that it's inspirational. You know, it's making superhero movies which everybody goes to watch. Superhero movies are huge right now. And it's really good that they're not milking it, you know, just taking the money and run. They're actually putting out a product that's good and genuine. They're putting in
real effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love to hear that, man.
The movies, though, this is where the movies and the comic books kind of diverge a little bit. Because in the comic books, you don't have a villain problem. But in the movies, you have a villain problem. The villain problem is that the villains feel rushed and you don't get committed to them as much.
Yeah, yeah.
But Thanos is not like that, and Loki is to a degree not like that, and there's villains who are genuinely compelling and interesting, but it's not every one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I mean, do you, I don't know if you remember this. This is going to pull some fucking dank memories out the chest. There was a show that Stan Lee hosted. I think it was on Sci-Fi.
Where he, on History Channel, where he found people with real superpowers?
Nope, that's not the one I'm talking about.
Oh my god, you're talking about the one where they created their superhero personalities? The one where they had costumes and shit? And oh my god, yes. I forgot about that. That's the greatest thing that ever happened.
Not sure if that's a shitty product. I'm not honestly sure. Is that a good product?
How could that be shitty? How could that be shitty?
I haven't went back and watched it.
It doesn't matter. You can think back and you can be like, they took a bunch of random ass people who wanted to be superheroes.
That is pretty cool.
And they put them in superhero outfits and had them compete and then published the one that won as a superhero. And they got to be a super fucking hero.
That's fucking awesome, man. Damn it. Yeah, that is a good concept. It really is.
For like a season.
You can't drag down now.
You can't do that for 10 seasons. No. That's not Fear Factor. You're not fucking doing that year after year after year.
Fear Factor.
It's always going to be fun to watch somebody eat something gross and fucking not want to do it.
Yeah.
Why is that fun?
What? Yeah.
Why is that fun?
Why is that fun? I always wonder that about people falling. You know what I mean? Like, why is that so fucking funny? You said
people falling, and it made me laugh because it's so funny to think about people falling. I immediately thought of some dude just slipping on ice and fucking back.
Oh yeah, and the fucking worse it looks, the harder you laugh.
Oh yeah, honestly. No, and when old people fall, and I know it hurts them worse, but they take so long to do it. And it's so funny.
Oh my god, dude.
They try and brace themselves.
Oh my God.
And they scream the whole time they're falling. They make these weird sounds. They're just not normal screams because they got old people screams. Back before there were movies with sound, so they knew how to scream and shit when stuff happened.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say I had an encounter with an old person. And what happened was that old person who was on a walker fell, okay? And but the fall, dude, was so dragged out. Like, I was like, you know how when you...
Was it like they went forward, the walker went forward, and they were holding on to the walker and falling? Was that the one?
Oh my God, yeah.
And they couldn't get... Yeah. That's the best one.
Okay, but you know how, like, when somebody starts to fall, you can't... usually your reaction, if you're not within catching distance, you ain't doing anything. The fall was so prolonged. You ever seen
You felt bad for not going and helping?
Yeah, because I was like, damn, if I would have got up and acted immediately, I probably could have caught the motherfucker.
Wouldn't have broke a hip.
Yeah.
Been in the fucking hospice for 2 months now because you didn't get up fast enough.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's you ever seen the video of the guy shoveling? The guy shoveling the snow. It's like a vine.
That might have been what I pictured when you said that.
He's like shoveling the snow and he starts slipping on the ice, and it's literally like 20 seconds of him just trying to catch himself.
But I've never seen that. That sounds fantastic, though. But yeah. I've seen the walker fall in real life before.
Oh my God,
that's fantastic.
Please share.
No, I just saw the exact same thing you did.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The exact same reaction.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
That's all you can do.
That's all you can do is not do anything.
Yeah, that's a finite situation. Yeah, what a fucking terrible advice. Guys, if somebody falls, especially
if it's an elderly person who might die when they fall, don't do anything to help them.
Don't matter if it's concrete.
It's their fault, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
They shouldn't have got old.
They're their own person, you know. They got old. They chose to get old.
Yeah, chose it.
Yeah.
100%.
100%
Just like all those women they want to take abortions away from chose to get pregnant at 16.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
They chose it.
Yeah, and even, victims of sex crimes, they chose that, right?
No, but they did choose to kill that baby.
Yeah, they did choose to kill the baby.
They chose to kill that baby.
Yeah, well, kind of putting them in a little bit of a tight situation there,
yeah,
bud.
Well, you don't want to constantly look at your kid and be like, oh, I got raped.
Yeah, and it's not saying that, I'm not saying at all that couldn't happen. I'm sure there are plenty of mothers out there who have been raped or,
Oh, yeah, no. Some people feel differently about certain stuff and some people don't.
I'm sure some people loved that child.
Yeah,
truly.
Plenty of people did. Plenty of people did, if they carried it to term. But most of the time, you're not going to choose to carry it to term.
But the point we're making...
They should take the choice away. In Alabama, they took it away from the rape victims.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was about to say the point that I'm making, and I think the point that you're making, is that even though there are ups and downs on both sides of that argument, it should be an option. Well, simply because of the fact that there are ups and downs on the other side.
That's why it's called pro-choice and not pro-murder. Like, the reason why pro-lifers are such fucking assholes is because they call it pro-life, so that if you're not pro-life, all of a sudden you're a fucking asshole. You know what I've been hearing? I've been
hearing anti-choice.
That's what pro-choice people say as like a retaliation to pro-life.
Yeah.
Pro-life makes pro-choice people look bad, so anti-choice makes pro-life people look bad.
Man, but that's not the heart of the argument. If we could collaborate, why the fuck are we arguing about an issue this serious instead of coming together and talking about it like humans should do?
Because we put politics on TV. Do you know what England does? Do you know what England does?
What?
They don't allow that. They don't allow you to stream parliamentary proceedings as part of entertainment. So even like if you're doing like a comedy show or something, you can't use politics as a format. And everything is politicized right now. Our comedy, our movies, our or TV.
I don't even think that has to deal with the people up top though. I think the people at the bottom eat into it.
They do, because it's radicalizing, and they realize that, and they capitalize on it, and that's why it's their fault. Because they know that it's bad for you, and they know that it's not good to constantly, and if they choose to do it, because people spend money on it.
Yeah.
And that's why capitalism doesn't work. Capitalism as a whole doesn't work, and communism as a whole doesn't work. But, like, you have economies, the American economy generally works, right? The Chinese economy now generally works. The American government is considered a capitalist country, but they're not. They're really a lot socialist. They have a lot of social programs. And China is considered a communist country. But
China eats dogs. I don't like China. They eat dogs.
It's way closer to capitalism than it is to communism.
How did that? How were those are
just
two
demographic shifts. I mean, people.
The United States and China. That's such a radical difference in what capitalism can do.
Well, and really, it's a difference in. It's not a difference in what capitalism can do. It's a different approach to having social programs and to having an economy that you manage.
Yeah,
having a managed economy is good, and the more you manage your economy, the better. As long as you don't get into this trap, which you can't help but fall into in a genuine communist country, which is the people at the top, because once again, psychopaths succeed.
Yep.
Decide to take all the resources for themselves. And that's why Karl Marx said there should never be a communist government. Communism isn't a form of government.
You know what?
It was me. I'm going to turn on.
You know what, man? This stuff, it is so draining, isn't it? So draining to constantly go back to even.
It's like coffee for me.
We're taking part in it right now.
It's like coffee for me.
I know.
I enjoy it.
Everybody eats it up, man. I don't understand what it is about us humans, but man, I understand why TV shows are popular, why art is popular. It's because it's a way to escape for a while. The internet, information, they're all just ways that you kind of, even in the grand scheme of things, whether it's your country, your universe, you're your own individual. And it's the things that we pay attention to, the way that we work this whole system. At the end of the day, people are not the capitalism. People are not conservative. People are not these labels that we put on them. The 1%.
The only people who are genuinely like that are the people who make it to the top being that.
Being what?
Being a particular thing. Like conservatives, even though they don't, people will agree with ideologies and policies that they don't believe in politics.
Yeah.
Because it's what makes them go to the top.
Yeah.
Even though they think they're doing the wrong thing, they're succeeding in this game that we call American politics and information manipulation.
And I think really even those people are, a lot of the ways that things get passed through is just from passiveness, If from the top to the bottom, I would say to Donald Trump, some of the, there's no way you can be connected.
Donald Trump banned bump stocks. Donald Trump legalized hemp.
Yeah. Well,
Donald Trump.
I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying. I'm saying that for a politician,
everybody can do good stuff.
But
everybody does bad stuff too, though.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that their intentions are just, because of a lack of awareness. Mm-hmm. Honestly, it's because of the passive attitude of not, thinking about other people and trying to connect as much as possible with your country when you're in the position of being president. Yeah. Because it's very easy to be disconnected and not understand how people in your country are feeling. And I think that would be the most important aspect of a president, if that could actually be instilled in people.
And people who are playing that House of Cards game,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Those are the psychopaths. Most of the people that you're talking about, the ones that are passive, The ones that are just not thinking about the issue all the way through.
Yeah.
Because they don't have experience with it. They're not in that particular bubble.
So pretty much the psychopaths are making us they bitch.
The psychopaths are making everybody their bitch.
Yeah, we should make them our 1%
1% of the politicians...
is that a bad attitude to have?
1% of the politicians are probably making the rest of the politicians their bitches.
Yeah.
And every politician is a liar, but some of them are really fucking good at lying.
Yeah,
really good liars.
Good. Like Ted Cruz, he's a good liar, ain't he?
No, but I don't think he could lie about anything.
You know what he fakes more than anything is his confidence. That's the one thing he fakes more.
He doesn't fake it very well.
He fakes that more than his religion.
He always kind of looks like he's uncomfortable, like he's in a picture he doesn't want to be in.
Oh my God, you ever seen the videos, like the outtakes of him doing the prayer stuff with his family?
Have you seen the bad lip reading of that infomercial that he did with his family? Have you seen the bad lip reading of it?
I don't know.
Oh, it's perfect. Whoever they got to do Ted Cruz in the bad lip reading videos that they did with Ted Cruz in
I think
the greatest
I have seen
fucking
some of
thing
them.
of all time.
Yeah.
The Republican debate one was good too.
Oh my God.
They
bad lip readings is great.
They made good shit.
Yeah, for sure.
What the fuck was that?
Good escapes.
Good escapes.
Like, no, I'm just saying that's a good escape. That's a good escape from the seriousness. That's it. Yeah, everything.
What we're doing right now, watching this out there, or doing this right now, is a good escape.
Yeah. Human life is built on escapism, really.
Human life is about doing something so that you're not just here.
Yeah. Just imagine if all we focused on was the fact that we're here.
That's what we do. We focus on the fact that we're here, and we're not going to be here long. So we got to do something right now while we're still here.
So weird.
It's like a constant,
weird,
unseen fear of death. It's like right at the corner of your eye, you're afraid of death. And so you're constantly doing something so that you're not thinking about being dead.
Yeah. Yeah, or just thinking about the reality of it all, the complexity of it all. There's no way you could ever comprehend it. It's almost like your brain doesn't even try.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like the president being disconnected from the country, but on a much larger scale.
I don't know, it's a pretty large scale. The way that Donald Trump is disconnected.
Dude, the average person is extremely disconnected from...
definitely. We're disconnected. Everybody's disconnected. But just Donald Trump is extremely disconnected. Donald Trump is living in a different world.
Yeah. I mean, but do you think... I'm talking about the disconnectedness of, like, being connected with reality and, like, trying to understand the mechanics of how things work. The average person doesn't really ever pay attention to that, and sometimes, a lot of the times, they don't even try to pay attention to how their own brain works. And that's extremely important. You have to understand your self-dialogue. If I could give any advice to anybody in the world that I could give, and it would inherently benefit you, it would be that to be objective, to try to take in all this information and
if you want to be introspective and miserable, like me and Keegan, then analyze yourself and figure shit out.
But we're in the process of figuring it out.
We will always be in the process of figuring it out.
That's fine.
Figure it out.
That's fine.
That's fine if you're good, if you're like us and you're comfortable with that level of fucking self-doubt and nihilism and being uncomfortable from time to time. But if you just want to be happy and ignore everything, you can go with it too. But you have to know how to communicate.
Do you think they're happy?
You have to know how to communicate with yourself, and you have to know how to communicate with other people.
Yeah.
And that's the most important ingredient for being happy. Now, we have to think about that shit, and also why we do that, and if we're being rational, and if our perceptions are wrong, we're constantly questioning ourselves and doubting shit, and it makes us have a certain level of misery.
Yeah, it's just basically me being like, everybody needs to be like me.
We hate people that aren't like us, man.
Yeah,
we can't
that's
stand
bullshit.
It.
We're stupid. We're fucking dumb.
Human beings are monkeys. Do you know why?
We're fucking
do you know why
dumb,
we hate shit
Fuck.
that is not us?
We're just taking part in the cogs right now.
Do you know why we hate shit that's not us?
Why?
Because historically, just about everything that's not us, we have either had to kill it to survive or it has tried to kill us.
You could even say that with, like, the Native Americans when people first came over.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, these, and slaves, like African-American slaves or the Chinese slaves, basically just complete.
Oh, like, yeah, white people are, like, the most invasive species on the planet.
Yeah.
They just go everywhere and take stuff and move it to other places and then keep it.
Oh, my God.
Including people. God. And then they stop doing the thing with the people, mostly. Mostly.
God, you're fucking with my head, dude. But also, you know, it wasn't just America, you know. A lot of the slaves that were
every
brought to America
basically had slaves at some point.
Yeah. Well, and also, how do you think we got a lot of our slaves? They were sold to us by slave owners.
Yeah, they were sold by slavers.
Yeah, in their own country.
There are all kinds of conquering nations too. It's by no means just white people. You know, other groups of people, other groups of people have conquered shit too. It's just that white people are the most recent example. I think it's because it took us longer to catch up, and it was probably because of the Neanderthal DNA. And we're a little bit behind. We're a little slow. We're like the autistic kid of the world. That's what white people are. We're just now catching up.
That's fucking so accurate, dude. That's why I can agree with, like, the stereotype of white people that we're lame as fuck. We are, dude. We're fucking lame as shit.
You love them as much as the rest of your kids, though. You can't make a difference between them. They're special.
Fuck, dude. I love everybody of every color on the rainbow, dude.
All the green people.
I like
those
the green people.
Those reptilians that lead us.
Yeah, I like all of them. I like rainbows, but I ain't gay. I ain't gay-o.
Lord, no. No, that's Bible tells you not to.
Yeah, and that's what I listen to. I read it every night after I watch. I
do read the Bible a lot.
Do you read it after you watch the news? Fox News?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I do watch a lot of Fox News.
Yeah,
I can understand. I can smell out Fox bullshit. I can't smell out CNN bullshit.
That's intense.
I can't smell the fake news on CNN.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel that way too. It's like Fox is so... It's like, it's worse morally, or it's
they say obviously false things.
Yeah.
All the time. And you're like, oh, okay, I get where you're lying on this.
Yeah.
I'm glad you present me with the facts, though, and the story so that I can discern it. Just look back up into it, see what the relevant information was.
Yeah. Yeah, but CNN is kind of like, they're trying, Fox News is like, and we have a pretty low bar for, like...
Yeah, they're not trying to convince you. Yeah. You're already sold.
Yes, exactly. That's
because everybody's in on the joke.
Sold. So we're sold.
Most of the Republicans are in on the joke. They get it.
We get sold mentally, too. Kanye West, new slaves, boom.
Republicans would love some new slaves.
No, I'm just saying mental. Yeah, exactly, mental enslavement. Truly, you know, not only.
Oh no, I meant they would like some real chattel slavery. I mean, they would want to own people and treat them like objects. I'm not being serious. Don't come after me, Republicans.
Do it, Republicans. No, don't do it.
Lyndon Johnson probably wanted to own people too. That dude was a Democrat.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people throughout history have wanted to own
a bunch
people,
of really
obviously.
shitty people. And that's the thing is the Republican base gets manipulated by these Republican people who want to fucking install these racist fucking ideologies.
What good guy wants to own people?
No good guy.
No good guy.
And really, it's shifted from owning people to segregation. That's what Republicans want.
Yeah, segregation. Yeah.
And who was it? Who said that? It was the governor of Alabama. They were like, it might have been the governor of Alabama. They were like, segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever, or whatever. And it's been the fucking battle cry, but they've just changed the words. Donald Trump. I almost call it. He basically was Donald Trump. Ronald Reagan went to Philadelphia, Mississippi, to announce that he was running for president after 4 black men were shot down there. Specifically, like shortly after that, to kind of wink and nod at people.
Yeah. To wink and nod at people.
Wink
just
and
kind
nod
of
at people.
to, like...
I'm running for president. All you people who I want to vote for me.
Yeah.
All you white racist people who I want to vote for me, I'm coming here where the black people got shot to let you know I'm running for president.
Yeah.
And then he reformed prison laws. Not prison laws, he reformed the drug laws. And he arrested a bunch of black people.
That's so...
Put them in a separate location with bars, almost like a cage. That it's like almost like he wanted to take a lot of black people and put them into cages.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cocaine was a popular drug in America for a very, very long time. Let me tell you about this. Cocaine was a very popular drug in America for a very long time. And a lot of people know, I mean, before, when it was legal. Back when it was legal.
How long ago was that?
I'm talking about when people were drinking Coca-Cola with cocaine in it. And it used to be Coca-Vina. Okay?
Coca-Vina.
Is what Coca-Cola used to be. It was Coca-Vina. It was Coca-Cola and wine, basically wine cooler with cocaine in it. Yeah, and then eventually we enacted prohibition laws, right? And they changed it to Coca-Cola. It still had cocaine in it. So cocaine was legal, alcohol was not. And, but then they outlawed cocaine because they were afraid that because it was cheap, black people would use it, and then they would go into rages in the streets and kill all the white people. So drug laws have always been blatantly and openly racist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ever since the start.
For sure. And I mean, the connection with poverty, too. I mean, poverty breeds crime anyway, and when somebody's segregated to begin with, and they're not given a fair shot, they're immediately from their time of being in America, their great-great-grandparents, or however long ago it was, like, those people experienced a much different life, a much harder life, and a much harder start to getting their culture to build itself into, being on the same level as everybody else.
I think that another danger, too, is that, people call the mafia organized crime. But all crime that continues, like all crime that persists, is organized because the unorganized people get caught. And usually in areas where there's a lot of crime, there's some kind of a criminal element that controls that crime. And a lot of these people pressure children in those areas to go into that same criminal element and go and work for them and do terrible things for them. Gang members don't get initiated when they're 18 years old. They get initiated when they're little kids, like 8 years old.
Yeah, 100%. And it's
8 years old, probably moving drugs, maybe killing somebody.
Yeah. You have to, and it's about family. It's about, like, bonding with the community. It's you and your community against the world.
It's part of a community. When it's a gang that's local, that started locally, and it's a small neighborhood, and it's not a lot of money going on, these people bring in the money, and they help people out around here. And as long as you go around with them, then they're not going to fuck with you, and you just keep the status quo, and life's better that way. That's why I think that part of our strategy for HUD, I don't know if they would handle this or not, but part of our strategy as a country for dealing with the gang violence is to talk to the gangs. Because, we know who they are. If we haven't arrested them, we still need to go and we need to talk to them. We need to be like, listen, this is in your benefit and our benefit that you don't recruit children and that you don't kill civilians. And we're having a hard time proving what you're doing anyway. We're not going to make any headway, but we're really going to crack down if you don't stop recruiting kids and you don't stop killing civilians.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. That would be exactly what I would suggest too.
At pretty much every problem on the planet, my fucking solution is to go to them and talk to them.
Yeah.
And tell them how it is. And see if you can come to an agreement.
Yeah, that's the only way that, everybody can benefit. You have to...
We don't want them to benefit, but we want them to be just afraid enough that they will do the thing that we need them to do, but not afraid enough to where they'll retaliate.
Yeah.
Which is like the most fascist thing I've ever said.
I'm just saying, you sometimes have to work with the people that you don't like to make changes.
Well, that's
it's
why
not
Donald
all
Trump
about
talking
attacking
to Korea
them.
is a great thing. Tulsi Gabbard hits the nail on the head when she talks about this on Joe Rogan. She's like, just because you don't like... I'm not an Assad supporter. Just because I don't like necessarily what Assad does doesn't mean, though, that I want to go in there and topple his government, and I think we should probably talk to him. And same thing with North Korea and what Donald Trump's doing over there. I don't support Donald Trump, but I support talking to North Korea because I tried to get Obama to do that, too, and he didn't do it.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. You're exactly right. It's all about communication from bottom to top.
And another thing, too, you have to meet people on their own terms because it's like Obama would have probably talked to Kim if he had come to the White House.
Yeah.
I feel like that could have possibly happened, but why would Kim Jong-un go to the White House?
Yeah.
Why would he go on American soil? He's paranoid that we're going to kill him.
Yeah, no, obviously.
He's not going to come to the fucking...
Completely paranoid.
He's not going to sit in the Oval Office with you and talk diplomacy. You got to go... The fact that they had a meeting in Pyongyang, didn't they? Trump and Kim?
I think so.
That is amazing.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing.
Do you know how big balls Kim thinks that Donald Trump has after he went to Pyongyang when Kim is pissing his pants not wanting to come over here? That's why I wish Obama had Trump's big dick energy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if he took everything he is, but also added just a little bit of big dick energy on there.
Yeah, just a little bit of
get shit done.
Little bit of fuck you, dude. I'm not taking this shit. Instead of like trying to compromise and he was too diplomatic. Obama was too diplomatic. He should have been more of a hard ass. But he was also a hawk. He was a fucking war hawk. How are you that diplomatic in your dealings with the people that are dangerous?
Pretty shitty.
But then you're a war hawk when it comes to blowing up like women and children.
Because you're disconnected from that. The people that the other presidents, those are people you're personally interacting with. You're going to want to keep on good. It's just about people pleasing basically.
Oh, he's got personality flaws. Oh, Jesus. Our leaders are flawed and complex people.
It's almost like they're human. Oh, my God.
God damn it. Why do we let these fucking monkeys run our goddamn society? Human beings should never be in charge of anything. We should put fucking robots in charge. Why haven't we made a robot yet? Make a fucking robot.
Come on, Elon. I don't care if it's Elon. I don't care
if it's Elon. I want it to be Elon.
No.
I think he is a robot. He could definitely make one.
It could be Elon. It could be what's Amazon?
Oh God,
Jeff Bezos.
Not him.
Jeff Bezos. No, Gunnar at all costs. At all costs. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, we want to die, not be enslaved.
No, we don't want to die.
I do. Yeah, we do. The human race that we've served our purpose is served. We've created them. We've created something better.
Dude, we're monkeys in daycare. We're monkeys in daycare, and we elect other monkeys in the same daycare to take care of the other monkeys in the daycare.
The smart monkeys. Actually,
the smart monkeys.
Yeah, the smart.
Our politicians are really intelligent. They're fucking geniuses.
I'm talking about the people who are pushing the technology. They're the smart monkeys.
Oh, yeah.
All of us.
No, they're still stupid, but they're going to be able to fix something that's smarter than them, and that's going to be exciting. And then we'll be able to fucking finally let the robots take over.
They're smarter than us. How do you understand?
They're not smart enough to lead, though. Still, even though they're smarter than us, they're stupid enough that they can't lead. They still got to make the robot first.
The point that I'm trying to make is that the people who are not inventors, those people are on a totally... Because there aren't many people who invents things like the light bulb, the invention of the light bulb. That guy, his mind alone pushed us way past where we should have been mentally, Now, it's like in the electricity, people figuring that out. That was a few really smart people who figured that out. And now it's had this huge effect, on people who aren't prepared, aren't as smart. Do you get what am I making sense?
You're making sense.
Okay.
We have all kinds of different impacts as a species.
I'm just saying it's like
we need the smart people to push us towards having a nanny though. We need a nanny. Essentially.
Need a nanny.
We're not responsible enough to take care of ourselves yet. And we need a nanny. We don't need a nanny state. We need a literal nanny robot that takes care of us and just makes sure that's like, hey, this thing you're doing is really...
Can I suck your dick?
This thing you're doing is...
Can it suck your dick?
Probably.
Okay, I'm in.
Probably. No, not if we not if we let the people who are wanting to roll out legislation for these things fucking control it. Buzz?
Yeah, Buzz on that idea. It has to suck your dick. It has to suck our dicks, or I'm not buying.
Yeah, no, that's why people are like, oh, you shouldn't cook robots. Oh, you shouldn't. All your sexual encounters with robots should be totally consensual. They're fucking robots. They're non-animate. Yeah. They're not alive. They're not living organisms.
What do you think about that, though, when it's, like, almost indiscernible?
It's a machine that predicts. It's an automaton. There were advanced automatons in ancient Greece, if you believe their fucking mythology. That's not necessarily true, but have you seen the Antikythera mechanism?
No.
I mean, there's plenty of advanced technology in
Please explain
Greece.
that.
The Antikythera device is like some kind of an astrological calendar that's made up of gears, and it's this huge, it's like this big.
I want to know more about the mythology.
Oh, the mythology says that there were automatons that were designed by Daedalus, who was a big scientist back in pre-ancient Greece. Yeah. The mythology.
He invented them?
Supposedly. So with the help of, I think, divine inspiration and possibly the help of Hephaestus. He was the forge god, so probably with the help of Hephaestus.
Wow. So building just autonomous people, basically.
Automatons, not automatons. The automatic, these devices, these complex machines that performed specific tasks that mimicked living organisms, like these big metal people or the big metal bull or big metal, whatever you're making.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. That's like amazing that...
Yeah, apparently we had machines a long time ago. It's like almost like Graham Hancock knows what he's fucking talking about. It keeps popping up in all of our fucking mythology and all of our stories. How would they fucking know what a fucking robot is in ancient Greece?
That's just a complex
They didn't know how to make it, but how would they know what a robot is?
Yeah. Yeah. What was the... I'm so stupid to even ask this, but how much did they, deal with metal and stuff like that during that time?
Bronze Age civilization before, and then I think that the Greeks survived into the Iron Age. Is a world-shaping culture like that. And then eventually they got overtaken by the Romans. I think the Romans were definitely in the Iron Age.
That's amazing, though. Just that thought, I couldn't even imagine.
What would make you come up with that?
Yeah.
Because your brain doesn't invent things. Your brain takes things that it's heard or it's seen and combines ideas in your head.
Somebody thought, don't think of AI. You have no knowledge of AI. What would you say the first appearance of the word AI, artificial intelligence? When do you think that word was popularized, or when it was invented, when it came into the world? Do you have any frame of reference to that? It probably came into
popular usage sometime in the late 19th century, or late 20th century? Yeah, 20th century.
Maybe 1900s?
Yeah. So, it would have been like the 1970s, 1980s probably, maybe the 60s or the 50s even, but not that long ago would it have been popularized.
So it's that's a brand new thought. That's a brand new situation, that those people could not have even conceived. But, I guess you could think about, if you're them, and you're thinking of your mythology, and you're thinking
Jews have that too. Jews have these things called golems that are like these large people made of something that they have this power source that you put into them and you control them.
Yeah, the golem. Yeah. A power source into them and you control them. So I guess it's
I think it's a scroll, they say, but that might be like a crude translation of something to store data.
It's like
a computer chip or something like that.
I think it, do you think it comes back to the origin of trying to create a human, trying to figure out what it is that, the process of creating something like us might explain a little bit of how we were created?
Well, there's always been this fascination with humans for making something that's alive.
Yeah, because it's so inherently... We would be the only species even capable of creating life.
Mm-hmm.
And... or something similar to life, to even try to even think to replicate it, to even contemplate what life and consciousness is inherently human. So I don't know, man. Humans are so, like, they do make their decisions subconsciously with things like that in mind. Do you think so? Do you think that has an effect on us, or do you think...
Ask Carl Jung. I don't know. I think that some of it, I think, comes from some place that's in us, but I think that a lot of it comes from culture, too. And we really can't comment on it because we don't know if people in the 1800s were this obsessed with it as we are right now.
Yeah.
And, I mean, obviously it comes and goes. Frankenstein, fuck. Okay, well, guess they were. Fuck. Maybe it is. I like Carl Jung. Maybe he was right. Maybe there's like these species memories we have, and there's these specific things that are like memes in our cultural thought, and we're going towards some kind of a destiny. Maybe we got a destiny.
Yeah. Wow.
As a species, not as an individual.
And I think, as a species, of course, we have a lot of objectives. I mean, even if it's...
But that's still a very human-centric kind of way of thinking.
It is. It is.
I mean, if people didn't exist anymore, if something happened and we didn't exist anymore, then we wouldn't have a purpose anymore, but there would still be stuff here that... Does it not have a purpose?
We play a part in things. We all equally play a part at the end of the day, no matter how big or small your impact is on the world, whether you're president, whether you're a homeless man, whether you're man, woman, black, Asian, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like, we all are impacting each other in just like this pattern of interaction that just goes on, and all the small decisions I make and all the thoughts I think are all connected to the things around me. We are all moving towards something together. That's all I know, That's all I can say I know. And it might not be... I don't know, though. That's just the twist we put on it, huh? Humans. But animals can't really contemplate it, so...
I think we just operate under different assumptions than other animals.
Yeah.
We help each other out. Animals don't really help each other out that much.
Yeah.
We have language, so there's difference in us in the way that we communicate and the way that we live our lives, but it's just different. It's not really. We're not really better. We just have a different method of doing it.
Yeah.
We couldn't fucking just look at each other. Like, if we lost our ability to speak all of a sudden, we couldn't communicate by just looking at each other and doing stuff. It'd be impossible.
Yeah.
Be a lot more honest, probably. But it would
honest,
be
but
almost
simple.
Impossible. Yeah, honest, but very simple and almost impossible to negotiate stuff.
Yeah. Oh, but there's not really any negotiating,
It's all about posture.
Yeah, it's all about posture and then being the physical dominator, really.
Mm-hmm. Everything goes through... Well, that's a very honest system.
Yeah.
Physically dominating and being the dominant force.
It's kind of like...
It's the cycle of nature, and that's why we're going... Us and... bonobos have dominant females and stuff, but, I mean... It's different dominance.
Yeah.
And we have dominant males and females, but we don't have the same kind of dominance. It's more egalitarian in
it can be
society.
Yeah.
Because people have a path to kind of go to do that kind of stuff. They can become a leader.
And you can choose, despite what physical stature, you choose who you back. And there's power in numbers.
Yeah.
And, you could almost compare it to like countries and different militaries. You know, it's when it comes down to it, the physical aspect is important. But it's kind of different, you know. I guess whenever you get into like the advancement, but that's power in numbers too. You know what I mean? But it's not though. Like think about some like in India or something. You know,
money is power.
Money is power. Yeah.
Money is it's in some way shifted around by the population, but it's mostly manipulated by the dominant in our society.
You know what, man? Let's fucking what kind of music have you been into, dude? Like honestly, I'm just so
no more people dying because people suck.
Yeah.
Music? Fuck. I don't know. I haven't listened to music today aside from any new music today aside from that Tyler and the shit that you showed me, but I don't know if you want me to talk about that on the
what
the stuff you showed me of your stuff.
Oh, no. I'd probably rather not.
But
I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I'm trying to battle in my head, honestly, if I'll just be straight up with the audience and you, which is what we should do. Like, I do think that people can gain insight from, like, learning people's creative processes and learning. So, like, I would like to share it. You know, I do want to share things about my music, but I don't ever want to associate ego with my music. I don't ever want to make it force it on anybody, you know, and think that I'm so important that you should hear me talk about my music, you know.
He's good. Check him out. Oh, okay. Where's the camera? Check him out. He's good. he's you on anything?
Yeah. I got
do a promo.
Yeah. Yeah, you could go to SoundCloud. You can type in Floral. It's just Floral with a period. All lowercase letters. You could search under people. I've got like 4 songs on there just because I've been working on music for probably like 5 years, like hip hop music, and it's so hard for me, as you can tell, to just try to put it out there. And so I've just been kind of working in this bubble for this long period of time, recording stuff, never putting it out, making music videos, never putting it out. And I'm not saying they're all perfect, but I can see growth in myself as an artist. And I think that is the most important thing to share about that experience, is the happiness that you can feel and the confidence that you can develop from putting effort into something that you love to do. You know, whether it's music or podcasting, you know, being a plumber, if that's what you're passionate about, honestly. Yeah, so I don't know.
SoundCloud, Floral. All lowercase. Go fucking look it up. He won't tell you it's perfect or try and force it on you, but I will, so go ahead. Check it out.
I appreciate it. I think we need to be supportive with each other too. I really do. That's another reason I like to share my stuff with people, is because especially close friends and people that I feel like I want to hear about their stuff too. You know, it's not one-sided. I'm showing you me doing something that I enjoy doing and talking about it with you, and I expect wholeheartedly for you to do the same with me. I'd love to talk about your passions with you.
I struggle with getting anything halfway off the ground. I've collaborated with you when I've got stuff, but it's not a very frequent thing.
Yeah, but man, I know you're a good.
I give up on more shit than I start.
Yeah, you make an excuse like.
I'm like, that's not a good concept.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's bad.
Yeah,
skip that.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't try and work on it. Don't try and improve this or try and make it work or try and make it feel better. Just go ahead, move on to the next thing. That's not going to work.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of people. And I, you know, you maybe someday something's going to jump out at you and it finally be like click in your head like this is kind of something that I can commit myself to. I think it's important just to be on the lookout for that thing though that piques your interest, and you're not always going to be interested in the things that you're interested in, but you can choose to make that your craft. And you can fight through all the things that you don't want to do about it so that you can do the things you really fucking love about it. Like with music, it's expression for me, you know. It's my ultimate, it's the only thing in my life that I can just be myself in, and it's like a project that's all me, you know.
Right.
And that's what I love about music, but anything, you can feel that way about anything, you know. If you
just as long as you feel like you're in control in some aspect over what you're doing, it feels good to be able to do your own thing.
Yes. Yeah. And to know that you're good at something, and to know that you're constantly setting the bar higher and higher for the potential of what you're doing and the impacts that it can have on people. That's why I encourage people to get into those things, because I think it's so good for you.
Well, I think that it's important that you be honest with yourself too, and try and, if you're going to do stuff like make something, or if you're gonna try and do something, you should be honest with yourself about what you really want to do, and you shouldn't try and force yourself to do something that you feel like is better for you.
Yeah.
But maybe you should. Maybe I'm giving terrible advice.
It's hard.
School.
It's hard. No, it's hard to say. It is hard to say, because, you know, there are a lot of people who have had a passion, but they put that passion on the back burner for comfort. And I know I've done that. You know, that's one of the biggest.
It's a real human thing to do. You're like, oh fuck, I can stabilize this.
Yeah. That's one of the biggest sources of my anxiety is thinking that I am putting myself in a position of comfort right now instead of doing all the things that I know I need to do and conquer to truly do what I truly want to do and be truly who I am.
See, I have the opposite fear. I have this fear that I'm going to run after what I'm trying to chase after right now for so long that I'm going to stop myself from being able to be comfortable to the level that I want to be.
That you're going to
later on in life.
You're going to stop yourself from being able to feel comfortable?
From being able to reach the level of comfort that I want out of my life.
You feel like you can't reach that?
I feel like I can't reach it if I chase after my dreams too long. And I don't
you feel
know
like
when
your
to give up.
dreams.
I feel like I don't know when to give up.
You feel like your dreams are going to lead you down the wrong path.
Right.
You feel like you might follow that, because that happens too. That happens too.
Absolutely.
There are people who pack it up, head out to New York or LA, say they're going to do stand-up comedy, and they fucking fail, dude.
How many homeless people in LA went there to try and do something?
Yes. Anything. Actors, musicians, all the people who moved to those cities and tried to hit it big, as they say. You know, it doesn't happen, and you end up falling on your face, and you have a miserable life. And I think you need to find a balance between comfort in the now and comfort in the future as well. I think whatever it is, you need to figure out that balance. You know, you need to figure out how to get things done.
All I figure is I will have an easier time, hopefully, figuring it out after I turn 25. Because after I turn 25, if I haven't figured it out, then I'll know, hopefully, when I'm making a self-destructive decision, because my frontal lobe will be fucking developed. I have 2 more years to go. Hopefully it fixes everything that's wrong with me.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to happen. We're going to be fucked up till we're 85 and dead if we live that long.
Oh, well, if you're still fucked up when you're 25 or 30, then you're going to be fucked up forever.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, for sure. Well, no, I don't believe that.
Yeah,
I don't believe that.
To the degree that you're fucked up, you might not necessarily be destitute and be in a terrible place, But I mean, if you haven't figured out the answers to like your own personal issues by that point in time, you're probably not going to figure them out.
No, I disagree.
You're probably going to go
I
through
disagree.
life really?
Yeah, I think people are malleable, dude. I really do. I think
a lot of it comes down to personality.
it does come down to personality, but it also comes down to rationality and communicating to a person in the right way that they need, to learn the things that they need to learn, and teach them and be helpful, and don't spit on poor people because you think they're uneducated.
I don't think people get more rational the older they get. I think they do for a little while, but then I think they start to get slowly more irrational. Kind of set in their ways a little bit.
Yeah, you do get set in your ways.
And then reason is kind of like you reason to where you want to be instead of reasoning to where it is. You reason to where you want to be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely harder. It's definitely harder to reason with somebody who is older.
I think you can convince an old person of something.
I think you could. I think it would take a very, particular situation.
It's as hard as probably trying to help an addict. I mean, you have to convince them for them. And if they're not going to change their mind for you, whatever you're going to put up to them, you're a young person. They're an older person. They have more experience than you. What do you know?
Yeah.
How are you going to tell them? You going to tell me? You going to tell me that you know more than me? Yeah, tell me when you serve in Vietnam. Tell me when you get up here.
But
tell me when you worked for 35 years. Tell me that.
What's to say of all of the people who are a part of that generation who are rational, though? What's to say about those people who have adopted with the times?
It's not a percentage of a particular generation. It's human nature. That's just how people work. Drug addicts, same thing. It's you're going to tell me that I don't need this? You don't know what my problems are. Yeah. You have no idea what I'm going through. I need these drugs. These take me away from the fucking pain that I suffer every day.
But what about the people who are convinced by other people? I know that you could say that it's a personality thing, but don't you think the people around you affect your personality?
I think that you're about 50% affected by the stuff around you. I think you're about 50% fully formed when you come out, and that you grow into your personality, obviously, but that you grow into that 50%. You don't get naturalized into it, whereas the other 50% of your personality is shaped by your experiences. It's shaped by the people in your life and how you were nurtured and cared for growing up, and little childhood experiences, things that happen to you. And I mean, that stuff happens to you, and it changes your mood on certain stuff, but you're pretty much, by the time your frontal lobe is developed, and then especially by the time you're 30, you're pretty much the person you're going to be.
But if those traumatic experiences...
Trauma is one thing that changes people. Trauma is something, and
memories,
a lot of times with drug addicts, and that's the thing, a lot of time with drug addicts, it takes hitting a rock bottom. It takes almost overdosing and dying. It takes being in a real shit place and realizing how bad it is for you. And it's the same thing with someone older who you're trying to convince about something. Unless you can really show them something like physical or something tangible that they can believe in, that is something that, really changes their mind on it, you're not going to be able to change their mind just from arguing, just from talking to them.
What if, but not you as an individual, but as a group of people, the world around you changes, like you have to change a little bit, like, and all I'm saying is that if you're able to
talk to the Republican National Convention about that, because they certainly have not changed in a long time.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. The
only people who change are the people who do the stuff. Like your generation coming up, your millennials, they're doing the stuff right now, so they're changing, they're evolving. All their thoughts are being formed right now. That's why they're so bad at doing this shit. They can't fucking figure out who to be mad at, because they're mad at everybody over everything.
Yeah.
So which we're millennials. I mean, fuck it. I mean, you can't help who you are. But the point is, I mean, everybody's just trying to figure out who they are. Yeah. And it's going to take a little while. But then by the time that we figure out who we are, there'll be another group of people trying to figure out who they are. And that's why culture keeps evolving over and over again, is because there's never.
And there will be more options of people to become.
Yeah.
Types of people to become.
And there's probably going to be more people.
Way more.
And then maybe that limits options of who you can become when there's more people. Maybe that's the thing that adjusts our society next time. Maybe scarcity is what's going to promote necessity. You know, we're going to have to realize that it's necessary to take care of people before we start taking care of them. Maybe.
Yeah.
Hope that's not too late.
Or the earth, protecting the earth.
I don't think we'll ever learn about that. I don't think unless it directly affects people that we're going to ever be able to figure out how to take care of the earth. Because we're going to have to realize it's like maintenance for us, too.
Yeah, that's true. Like throwing our trash on the ground and shit.
That's why I completely changed his mind, guys. Completely changed his mind.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, yeah, it's got to affect you personally. It's all experience.
Yeah.
I don't think you can argue somebody. I think that's why debates never wind up with somebody being like, you know what, this guy's right. This guy's right, and I was wrong the entire time. And I want everybody who was going to vote for me to win this debate to vote for this other dude.
And I guess if you're willing to give in to other people by listening rationally and objectively, then that's a personality set in its own that doesn't change. Yeah. Yeah. There are some people are just more stubborn. Some people are just more stubborn than other people. Yeah.
And some people like ridiculously stupid shit. Some people have crazy ideologies that don't match up with any, form of fucking reality. Republicans, and then you keep ragging on Republicans, they're gonna fucking kill me. They got all the guns.
Hillary will kill their asses. She's trying to keep every supporter she has. People. Dude. She's trying to scrounge up some supporters by just killing off their influencers or people who are trying to kill them. Did you hear about
that journalist who shot himself in the back of the head?
Yeah.
Yeah. This attacked the Clintons and he felt so bad about it that he shot himself in the back of the head.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, tragedy. It's a because that really shows the amount of effort he went into to kill himself.
Yeah, I mean, dude was so distraught he didn't even want to shoot himself comfortably.
Yeah. Not even the natural position, that you would, not even close to a natural position that you would shoot yourself in.
No, it's almost impossible to do.
Yeah, like it's almost like you could not do it without somebody shooting you in the back of the head.
Oh, dude.
It's almost like that.
Do you know the artist Elliott Smith?
Yeah, kind of. What's a popular Elliott Smith song?
Needle in the Hay, the 2:45 a.m., Twilight.
Does he kind of sound like Ed Sheeran in those? Do you think he... No? Okay, I don't know.
He's dead.
Oh, he's dead?
He's not old. He didn't get to be old.
Who the fuck was I thinking of then? What's the name?
Elliott Smith.
Elliott Smith. Sam Smith. I was thinking of Sam Smith.
Yeah. Not the same guy. Yeah. His girlfriend found him after he killed himself, man. He stabbed himself in the heart.
No.
Yeah, he stabbed himself in the heart, and he was so conscious that he took the knife out and put it back in.
Wow.
Yeah.
His
girlfriend just found him like that. Isn't that crazy? It's fucking so crazy.
And do you think she would believe that if somebody came to even if she wasn't the one that murdered him, if somebody said he stabbed himself, he killed himself to death by stab.
No, that's actually a common way to kill yourself. It's just that people don't, generally take the knife out and put it back into the chest. When you stab yourself in the heart, it's kind of a one-shot deal most of the time.
It's only the, main component of your life force. Yeah. Yeah, that's tragedy. Can't believe he stabbed himself to death. Really sad for her.
Yeah.
Really, really sad for her.
Just when there is a blatant goddamn a blatant murder.
Yeah, how does that
somebody's like, yeah, it was a suicide.
Like, what? Who says that?
Who did you fuck at the circuit clerk office when this was in its infancy? This court case.
Who did you go into the bathroom with at the same time during the court case and just plow while a dude takes a shit next to you in the other stall?
You would have to sabotage your own goddamn career to get somebody like that off.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Or to let somebody like that get off, not to get somebody. The defense attorney would be trying to get him off.
And to just do it blatantly and be the judge who ruled that, you know?
Meanwhile, though.
Looks like a suicide to me, guys. I don't know.
Meanwhile, though, the defense attorney dude is looking good in those
You're
cases.
Right. You got
This lady found her boyfriend stabbed in the heart twice, on his back, laying on his back. She didn't do it? No, she didn't do it.
No, she didn't do it, guys. Hey, yeah, give it a little wink there. You know what I'm saying? You know? Damn.
Why do we get back on fucked up shit all the time?
I don't know. It's like that was pretty much the gist of why the silence occurred, I think. So we're like, damn, we keep ending up back here. Where can we go that won't end up back here?
That won't end up back at the most fucked up shit you can possibly think of.
Was that me overanalyzing, or was that the case with you?
No.
That didn't go through your head?
No, it didn't go through. Nothing goes through my head except for really fucked up dark thoughts.
Yeah, I guess it's just a continuous stream of that. Oh.
We grew up after 9/11.
Yeah. We're millennials, guys. Are we millennials?
No, actually, we're Generation Z. We're after millennials because we were born after the midpoint of 1995.
Yeah. Where's the Generation Z love, bruh? Why?
There is none because we all hate ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my God, dude! Have you seen?
Oh, are you gonna tell me about Doomer?
Yes, I'm gonna tell you about Doomer, dude. Yes, Doomer.
I get Doomer.
That shit.
I like Bloomer.
Oh yeah, dude. I just looked into that a little bit. I didn't see as I know that it exists, and I listened to a Bloomer playlist that you can find on YouTube. And it's like all these like uplifting songs. What is a bloomer? Okay, well we should probably explain Doomer first. Yeah, he's kind of the main.
Doomer is somebody who sees the universe as being pointless and negative, like a nihilist, essentially, like a nihilist in the sense that people think of a nihilist. You know, real depressed and sad, and everything sucks, and life is chaos and meaningless. And Bloomer feels exactly the same, but he's still happy, and he's like, oh, there's still beauty in the universe, even though it's all fucked up.
Okay. What I'm doing is I'm pulling this up. I've looked into the Bloomer. There's like a meme that I'm trying to find, and maybe 2022 or something.
You were at 22-year-old meme.
Oh really?
Yeah. There. You just can't read it good.
Okay. Well, we'll just go with this one. There was one
we can zoom in.
Yeah.
Oh fuck no, we can't.
Okay. All right. So. Let's see here. It's kind of like would you say it's a meme, or would you just say it's like an internet oh no, look at that, I'm whitelisted. Go away, ad block. Fuck. Can't we just have fucking one thing run smoothly?
That's a meme in and of itself right there. That guy right there.
It literally is. Alright, we gotta unblock this shit. No. Turn that shit off. Alright. Yeah, okay, so I guess
I think you have to hit refresh.
Yeah, you right. Okay, Doomer, guys. All right.
Jesus.
We have shitty internet in the South, guys.
Fuck yeah, we do.
Okay.
Okay, you got 23-year-old Doomer. He plays PS1 sometimes, you know. You got alcoholism. That's me. He's ashamed to speak to his family. Ashamed. Not because of them, because of himself, you know. Spends all of his time indoors, you know, another night in. No hope of career advancement. Probably no career. I'm unemployed. Tried reading, tried fashion, tried lifting. Notice he tried all of these things.
Yeah. It's what we've been talking about all night, honestly.
Yeah. High risk for opioid addiction. I don't know about that one.
I don't either. I don't know about that one either.
I mean, probably with other people. I'm just scared of them because I live in an area where that shit's real and it's around. Hasn't made a friend since 22. I haven't made a friend in much longer than that. Lost youth. Feel like they missed out on their childhood. Really what it is we just miss it because we didn't have any responsibilities.
Yes, exactly.
Cares, but knows there's nothing he can do. Cloud rap. There you go,
I mean, honest, it's for real. Like, how is it this accurate?
Has a Tinder, but too disgusted to use it. And that's the one that, again, applies to me.
And the thing is...
Cloud rap for Keegan. You got the disgusted to use their Tinder for me. There's one more down there. What is that? Nightwalk. Oh, Nightwalk.
It's like a Reddit thing.
Like when we went down on the railroad tracks and just walked on the railroad tracks in the middle of the night all the fucking time.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Is that something everybody does?
I don't know.
I thought that was really rare because you live in a really fucked up weird area you can walk around in the middle of the night.
This one I think is pretty accurate.
There's some of this.
This is the 21-year-old doomer. Went through a Unabomber phase. I don't know necessarily what that means. I guess kind of like a phase where you were kind of like a little bit crazy, like just had a little bit of thoughts about...
Well, the Unabomber was like this crazy left-wing nut job who he wanted to like quell people's bad behavior or whatever. It's fucked up. He's a fucked up dude.
I didn't know that.
He's got a whole fucking ideology. They published his like manifesto.
Yeah.
He sent him a manifesto. He was like, publish my fucking manifesto. And they were like, okay. More people
because we're the media.
Let's do that.
Hates porn and the internet, but spends free time on it anyway.
I like porn, in theory.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think they're healthy for us, and I definitely spend time on them anyway.
No, I think they're perfectly healthy for us. I think the industry abuses the people in it.
Normie GF, a girlfriend, unsure if they actually love them or not. That's pretty dark.
That's accurate.
But that's definitely happening. True political views only come out when drunk.
It's when I start talking about Israel and how we should give it back to Palestine.
Yeah. Can pass as a normie, but secretly hates most of them. I feel like I'm always like wearing this normie mask when really like this is about as close to.
Isn't the normie thing now like normie means like people that don't get the white supremacist memes?
Oh really?
Yeah. Fuck. I don't know, dude.
Is that what's going on here, dude?
I almost said retarded. I'm gonna say retarded.
You said retarded.
These people are retarded.
You already said it, you son of a bitch.
Well, they shouldn't be so fucking retarded.
Fucked up. We're canceled, dude.
We're canceled. It's over.
Motherfucker. We're canceled.
Guys, you can't say retarded. I just did. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. Like, you're the one who did it.
Do as he says, guys, not as he does,
yeah,
okay?
I'm a terrible fucking example.
Yeah, that's a
I would never be on camera if I thought you should listen to me.
Yeah, he would never say retarded. You would never even say that, would you?
No.
No, he wouldn't, guys. You guys have a good one. You have a wonderful night, wonderful morning, whatever it is that you're going into. I hope you've enjoyed eating some brain cake with us.
Went through that whole podcast without calling something retarded.
And then you fucked it up right at the end. I
fucked it up so bad. I'm the reason we're going off the air. We're canceled now.
It's like the last curve on the last lap, and you veered off the road, off of a cliff. You landed on top of a grandma who was falling on a walker. Man.
God, I love those.
Yeah. And it was the most hilarious thing, that whole process. The car going off the cliff. Yeah, the whole slide and the whole fall to the bottom of the cliff. It was a good time.
Why would you put tennis balls on the bottom of your walker? People did that.
Figure it out, guys.
Tell us in the comments and call me a piece of shit.
That's how we're going to know you're a true OG.
Yeah, call us a piece of shit.
You made it to the end.
Tell us why they put tennis balls on.
Yeah. Yeah,
oh, if you made it to the end and you're a true OG, you probably don't give a shit that I said retarded.
Yeah, that's also
some
true.
liberal dude 5 years from now is going to come in here and fucking destroy me.
Yeah. Comment, brain cake sucks.
Yeah, please. Fucking slanderize us.
That's how we're going to know who the real fans are. All right. See you guys. Love you. Goodbye.